Hello everyone. Today we're going to make a mesh market bag, mesh beach bag, mesh bag. And I'm using yarn Bee Sugarwheel Cotton Sparkle. And I believe the color is Just Relax. It calls for a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, which is what I'm going to use. And so you'll need your yarn, your hook. You'll definitely need some stitch markers so you don't lose track, and a pair of scissors. So we're going to start off working in the round. We're going to chain 4. We're going to put 6 single crochets into the circle and slip stitch them together, and we're going to increase each round by 6 stitches. So round 1 is 6 single crochets. Round 2 is 2 single crochets in each stitch. You should end with 12. Round 3 would be a single crochet and then an increase of 2, a single crochet, an increase of 2. All the way around, you should end with 18. Round 3 would be 2 singles and then an increased stitch, 2 singles, increased stitch. And it just progresses like that for a total of 10 rounds. When you finish the 10 rounds, you should have 60 stitches. So if you know how to crochet round flat, then you can go ahead and skip ahead in the video to the part where we actually start doing the mesh. So we start by chaining 4. So you're going to do your slip knot and chain 4, not real tight because you need to be able to fit stitches in your circle you're going to make. So I have 4, and we're going to join to the beginning chain with a slip stitch, and we're going to do 6. We're going to do 6 single crochets into the center of the ring. And work over top of your end string so that it's basically worked in for you. So I have 1, 2, 3. Now what you could do, if you, see that's 1, 2, 3, mark your first stitch with a stitch marker so that when you join your round, you don't join into the wrong place. So that's 3. And 6. And we want to slip stitch into our first stitch. Okay. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch. So you're going to chain 1. Gets easier to work with as it gets bigger. That's 1 and 2. And I'm going to mark my first stitch so that I don't join into my chain. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12, and we're going to join into our first stitch. Okay, so now we're going to work 1 single crochet. We're going to chain 1, work 1 single crochet in our first stitch. and then 2 single crochets in our second, and then 1, and then the next stitch it's 2, and you can do that all the way around. Count my stitches. I should have 18 now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We join in our first one. We have 18. Okay, so now we're on round 4. So you're going to chain 1, and you're going to single crochet in the first stitch. That's the same stitch where your chain is. And single crochet in the next stitch. So that's 2. And in the third stitch, you're going to do 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. So we're going to go single, single, and then 2. So 1, 2. And we join to our first single crochet with a slip stitch. Okay, so the next one, we went 2 with singles. Now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do 3 single crochets, and then an increase. That's 1, 2, 3, and now 1 with 2 of them. That's 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 2 of them, 2 singles in the same stitch. So now we should have 30. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yay! Slip stitch to our first single. Okay, so we are on round 6. So we chain 1, and we're going to do 4 single crochets, starting in our first one there where our chain stitch was. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an increase. You can tell you're there because that's where our increase was from the previous row, so you can tell you're in the right spot. So our increase is 2 single crochets in the same stitch. That's 1 and 2, and then 4, 2, 3, 4, and our 5th one is an increase. So we put 2 in the same place. And we should have 36 stitches. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. So we connect on to where our first single crochet was, and we're going to chain 1, and we're on round 7. So we're going to do 6 stitches, 5 stitches, and in the 6th one, an increase. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And there's our increase from the previous row. So we do 2, or round, and then 5 singles. That's 1. So this time, since we're on row 7, 7 times 6 is 42. We should have 42 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 42. Okay, so we slip stitch to our first single crochet. Is that it, or is that my chain? I think that's my chain. This one. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. I only had 41. So what looked like my chain was not my chain. All right. So now we're on round 8. So we'll do 6 singles, and in the 7th one, it's an increase, and we should have 48 stitches at the end of this row. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2. That's 1 and 2 and slip stitch. So you should have kind of like this hexagon kind of shape going on. So we're going to be going into round 9. Oh, let's make sure we have 48 before we go anywhere. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 47, 48, and we do. Okay, so round 9, we're going to do 7 single crochets, and the 8th one will be our increase. Noticing a pattern here. And then round 10 will be 8 single crochets, and in the 9th stitch, it'll be your increase with the 2 in the same stitch. So you can move ahead. When I get done with those, I'll come back. So it's a total of 10 rounds with 6 increases per round, and you should end up with 60 stitches at the end of the 10th round. So we will come back when we are finished with that. Okay, so I finished my 10 rounds, and I have 60 stitches. I've already counted. And if we go from this point to this point, it's 4.5 inches. So of course, the bigger the hook, the thicker the yarn, the bigger that would be. Or smaller hook would be make it smaller. Okay, so now get ready to chain your hearts out. So we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. We're going to skip a stitch and we'll do a single crochet. And then chain 2. This is where you want your markers. You want to mark where the beginning of each chain row is. Okay, so chain 2, skip a stitch, and do a single crochet. Chain 2, skip the stitch, do a single crochet. Chain 2, skip stitch, do a single crochet. So you're going to do that all the way around, and you should end up with 30 of these little loopy spaces when you get to the end. Okay, so I've made it back around, and when you get to the very last one, you will slip stitch it into your first little space. And I do have 30, I counted them. Okay, so we can take this off. And now for round 2 of the chains, the mesh part, or the net, whatever you want to call it, we're going to make 3 chains and single crochet into each loop. And we're going to do that all the way around. And when we get to the last one, we slip stitch. But we'll mark our first chain so that we know where we started. Okay, so right here. Okay, so 3 single crochets. Or I'm sorry, 3 chain stitches, 1, 2, 3, and single crochet into the next chain space. 1, 2, 3, and a single. You can do that all the way around, slip stitch it to the last one, and I'll come back when I'm finished with mine. Okay, so I made it all the way around, 3 chains, single crochet, slip stitch into the beginning one, and you should still have 30 spaces. Okay, let's take this off. Now we are going to chain 4, 3, 4. This is round 3. We're chaining 4, and we're going to single crochet into the next space. And we're going to mark this so that we know where our round ends. And then it's just simple chain 4. Like I said, you're going to chain your heart out on this one in a single. Chain 4 and single. So you do that all the way around, slip stitch it into this last one, and you should still have 30 loops. Okay, I will see you when I get finished with mine. Did I say round 4? I meant to say round 3. So round 3 has 4 chains and a single into the loop. Okay, so I just had to correct myself. I'll see you when I get done with mine. Okay, so we've completed round 3. Now we're going to start with round 4. We're going to chain 5. So we slip stitched into here and we're going to chain 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, and single crochet over in the next one and mark our spot. And we're going to chain 5 and single crochet all the way around till you get back to your very first spot, and you're going to slip stitch it into place. So I will work on mine and you can work on yours, and when we're finished we can meet back up right here in the same place. Okay, I've completed round 4 with 5 chains and a single crochet into each loop, and I still have 30. So round 5, in case you haven't guessed, it's going to be 6 chain stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and single crochet into the next one. Mark your beginning, and it's 6 chains and a single crochet all the way around, and you should still 2, 3, 4, and you should still have only 30 loops. If you're gaining loops, you need to go back and figure out, probably you weren't marking your spot or something, but you would need to figure out where you went, because it should be 30 loops in each row. Okay, so round 5, 6 chains, single crochet, slip stitch to the last one at the end, and I'll meet you back when I'm done with mine. Okay, done with round 5. Round 6 is 7 chains, single crochet, 7 chains attached with single crochet all the way around until you get to the last one, and then it's slip stitch. So I'd already chained 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, to put a single over here, and we're going to move this up to here so we know where we began. 7 slip stitch, or excuse me, 7 single crochet all the way around, and when you get to this last one, it's a slip stitch, and we will meet back here for round 6. Round 7, we're on round 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we are on round 6. I'm getting lost. Okay, so round 6, 7 chains, single crochet, and we'll meet back for round 7. And after round 7, we change it up a bit. Okay, so we've finished rounds 6 and 7. Round 6 was 7 chains and a single, and round 7 was 8 chains and a single. Now the next step is the next 8 rounds, rounds 8 through 16 will each have 8 chains. Rounds 8 through 16, there's 8. And a single and a slip stitch to close at the end. Now what you're going to want to do with this, or at least I like to do, is I'll leave my stitch marker on each row. It just makes it easier to count the rows. It's easier to see these things and count these than try to flatten it out and figure out where your next row is at. So 8 rounds with 8 chains and a single crochet, slip stitch to the last one, and then move on to the next one. 8 rounds, and we'll meet back here when we get those done. Well, now that felt like it took forever. All right, so I've done the 8 rounds of 8 chains per space. That was rounds 8 through 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now we're going to do rounds 17 and 18. And we're going to do it the same way as we did round 6 with only 7 chains. And you're going to start to see it wanting to curl up. That's perfectly normal. That's what you want it to do. So 2 rounds, 7 chains, and we'll meet you back. By the time you finish this, you're going to be a chain stitch expert. Okay. Chain 7 of them. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Work my spot. Okay. Rounds 17 and 18 are completed with 7 chains per mesh hole, net hole, whatever you want to call that. So now we're at 19 and 20 with 6 chains. And then 21 and 22 with 5 chains. And that will be the last of our chain rounds, and we can work on putting together the handle part of this. So 2 rounds with 6 chains and 2 rounds with 5 chains. And I'll meet you back. Finally, we're done with the mesh part of this. So that was 22 rounds. And next we're going to work on the handle. Just get these out of the way first. Okay, so you still have 30 of these mesh spaces. And what we want to do is put 5 half double crochets in each space. So that's going to be a total of 150 going all the way around. So 5 half double crochets, that's yarn over, go under, pull through all 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Over to the next spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All the way around. 5 half double crochets in each space. Okay, so I made it all the way around with my 150 single crochet. Now we're going to do 25 single crochets in the next 25 stitches. So you slip stitch together, chain 1, slip stitch together, chain 1, and in that same spot, that's where your first single crochet goes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's 25. Now you're going to chain. Here we go again. You're going to chain 75. Or if you want shorter handles, you can do less. But we're going to chain 75. So 1, 2, 3. $75. And try not to get it twisted. Okay, so then we're going to skip 25 of the single crochet, or 25 of the single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And we're going to single crochet into the next 50. Okay, so that was 1. And that is 50. Okay. So then you're on your second handle. You're going to chain 75. Or if you want shorter, the same amount as you did on the other side. Okay, so that's 75. And be careful not to twist it. And you're going to skip 25 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, right here. Okay, so we have 25 single crochets left, so we're going to go all the way across and connect with a slip stitch over here. Or 24 left because we just did 1, 3, and slip stitch. Okay, so we are in round 4, and we're going to work 1 single crochet in each of the first 25 and work 1 single crochet into the 75 chains, and then into the 50 singles and into the other 75 chains, and then into the last 25. So basically we are doing a single crochet all the way around, including the chain. Okay, so chain 1, and in your same spot, single crochet, and go all the way around, including your 75. Wow, that was a slip stitch. Including your 75 chain stitch handles, both of them. Okay, so when I get done, I will meet you back here. No sense in watching all of this. Okay, now the one that we've all been waiting for, the last round. And it is just simply single crochet all the way around, including the handles, and then we're going to fasten off and weave in our end, and it's ready to go. So here we go. 250 single crochets because of the handles. Finally, we're done. So we just fasten off. I'll tell you, I was getting worried that I wasn't going to have enough yarn. I actually have quite a bit left. So we fasten off and work in our end. Do it towards the inside of the bag. Well, I do have to say I like this this cotton yarn, the Yarn Bee. They have very nice cotton to work with. It feels nice and soft. And the nice thing about cotton is it's not super hot for the summertime, and this could definitely be used for a beach bag, you know, even if it's just carrying the kids' beach toys in. You know, it could be your beach towel and what have you. But this is how the handles look. It's got the chain and then 2 rows of single crochet. And I was very careful not to twist. Okay. I can't fit the whole thing in camera view at once. Your bottom, the sides, it's got a lot of stretch. You go to the flea market, the produce market, the beach. You know, just these things are versatile. They work great for so many things. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching and putting up with this chain stitch, because now we are masters of the chain. And I would really appreciate it if you leave a comment down below if you've even made it this far into the video, because that helps out so much. And we'll see you on the next project.